All right, just a few hours to go. Somebody was working today. A federal judge granted, in part, former President Donald Trump's request to appoint a special master to review documents the FBI seized in the raid of Mar-a-Lago last month. The judge gave the Department of Justice and Trump's legal team until September 9th to submit a filing that includes a list of proposed special master candidates. Joining us now with reaction, the host of Dick Morris Democracy and the author of The Return, Trump's big 2024 comeback, Dick Morris. Dick, good to see you. Tell me what you make of this ruling for the special master. Do you think this is good news for Trump?
Yeah, it is, but has to be in the context of what's happening. Biden is trying to set Trump up as the issue in the campaign, because this is the first time since 1892, when Cleveland and Harrison fought, that we've had two presidents of the United States at the same time running against each other. And the obvious thing is to compare the records as president. And as we found out over the weekend when Biden spoke and Trump spoke, there's no comparison. Biden can't even uphold his record at all. All he can do is attack Trump personally. So the strategy here by the Biden people is to get off the presidential record and attack Trump personally. And the key elements in that was the raid at Mar-a-Lago. And that is just creating an issue for Trump that's terribly effective for him. The next step will be, I think, that they're going to indict Trump on a records violation about the archives. That's a little bit like indicting someone for having an overdue library book, Sean, because the archivist is, in the last analysis, a librarian. And basically, their nose is out of joint that all the books haven't come in yet. The only thing that would make it serious is if there's a credible accusation that Trump leaked our secrets to the Russians or the Chinese, and he didn't for 4 years as president, and he hasn't for 2 years as a former president. Other than that, we're talking about an overdue.
Do you think that indictment comes? But does the indictment come before, in your opinion, if that's true, would it come before or after the midterms?
Oh, after, because I think the FBI rules prohibit before DOJ rules. But the point will be, you remember in 1998 and 99, Sean, all anyone in D.C. could talk about was Monica Lewinsky. If they indict Trump after the election, all anyone will talk about is Trump's indictment. Would he be convicted? Can he still run? Will he be the nominee? And that's their recipe for having people not talk about Joe Biden and not talk about inflation and not talk about gas prices, because everybody will be focused only on one question, Trump's indictment. And that's what they're trying to do. And their hope is that this lures DeSantis into a primary against Trump of Republicans who say, I'd like Trump, but who needs to carry this baggage through the election? But Trump won't cede his ground voluntarily. This will cause a Republican civil war, a DeSantis-Trump fight from which we'll never recover, and throw away our chances in 2024. So this must not happen. We have to be prepared, and the point I make in my book, The Return, for Trump to be indicted, to stand with him, even if that happens.
So let me get to, it's funny because you and I have talked about this before. There's a lot of folks who say, well, if he's indicted, it doesn't matter. The Constitution says there's only 3 criteria for running: how old you are, you're a natural-born citizen. I think the point, though, isn't that this isn't really about actually keeping him on a ballot. This is about muddying up Trump, right? This is about trying to say to Republican voters, oh, yeah, and you don't want Trump, go with a DeSantis or somebody else. Right. Isn't this more of a political play than actually a constitutional play about legitimately trying to keep him off the ballot?
Yes, absolutely. There's no basis for keeping him off the ballot, and they know that. This is to distract attention from the Biden record.
Right.
And it's to monopolize you remember the Lewinsky period. That's all anyone ever talked about. There was a guy named Osama bin Laden somewhere in Afghanistan, but we paid no attention to him. That's what's going to happen now. Everyone's going to talk about the Trump indictment and the Mar-a-Lago raid, the drama of it, the breaking into the home, the speech this last week about demonizing MAGA is all a setup to dominate, to suck all the oxygen out of the room and have the only thing people talk about be Donald Trump's indictment.
So let me ask you this. What does the special master, if you will, the appointment of one, the granting of one, do to his thinking? Is that help him, motivate him more, or is that just a wash?
Oh, I think it helps him, because the key thing is that nobody's going to take seriously the overdue library book. And if somebody comes out and says, yeah, there were major national security secrets there, but then those were never leaked to anybody, who cares? But if they say there are national security secrets and those were given to the other side, like Hillary's laptop may have been, that then becomes serious. And I think that the appointment of the special master is very important, because it shows that the documents are the documents. There's nothing else. And we can follow that paper trail. And you won't find any that ended up in Russian or Chinese hands. And that takes the stuffings out from this. And it makes clear that the indictment is simply a political maneuver, like you said.
And so, but I guess the question is there a little bit of a gamble in there? I only have about 20 seconds that we don't know who the special master is.
Well, there's no gamble in the assertion that Trump didn't sell our secrets to the Chinese or the Russians. You either have faith in Trump or you don't. I have faith that he would never do such a thing. And the only gamble here is that the Democrats are staking a lot on the raid, the speech, and the indictment. And when that all is proven to be as phony as the Russia collusion was, they're going to be in tough trouble.
Right. All right, Dick, as always, thank you for your insight.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. September is historically the worst performing month for the stock market, so you better be ready for it. The Fed continues to aggressively raise rates, and JP Morgan is forecasting another mega rate hike September the 21st. Is that why Jamie Dimon said an economic hurricane is coming our way? Well, gold and silver have remained remarkably stable despite the Fed aggressively raising rates today. The Patriot Gold Group has a special incentive for Newsmax viewers. Huge! Now precious metals investors can enjoy the no-fee-for-life gold and silver IRA on qualifying rollovers, or enjoy free, discreet, insured shipping on all direct gold and silver purchases. Here's the number, 800-356-4470. Call 800-356-4470 today.